Hi, everyone. Gerry Dulac along with Ray Fittipaldo at Acrisure Stadium, where the Steelers defeated the New York Jets 37-15. Our Steeler Report brought to you by Savinas, Kane, and Gallucci, mesothelioma and asbestos lawyers with over 85 years experience. Call them for a free consultation. Ray, it was a slow start by Russell Wilson making his Steelers debut. The Jets took a 15-6 lead with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. After that, the Steelers ran off 31 unanswered points, won this game. That's the most consecutive points they've scored. I went all the way back to 2016 when they started a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, 36-0, and that's it. It just took them a while to get going, Russell Wilson to get going, and when they did, look out.
Yeah, the offense really got going in the second half, Gerry. Once again, this game turned with a big defensive play. Beanie Bishop got that interception in the second quarter, led to them getting that touchdown, and then just things kind of snowballed from there. So defense did its job again, but I don't think there's any argument, Gerry. Russell Wilson gives the Steelers a different dimension to that offense with his passing.
Yeah, Ray, 5 completions of 21 yards or longer, 44 yards to George Pickens, 37 yards to George Pickens, a pass interference penalty down the field on a long pass. You can see him not afraid to go over the middle into the middle of the field. Yep. And, yeah, it just gives them a different dimension in the passing game. They also got another big running game, especially in the second half, from Najee Harris. He had 77 of his 102 yards in the second half, back-to-back 100-yard games. Only the second time he's done that in his career so far.
Yeah, Najee was talking post-game how he feels this is probably the most complete offense he's played in since he's been here. This is year 4 for him. So, he had been his first year. Obviously, different quarterbacks the last couple of years. He said defenses don't really know what to key on now. You key on the running game, Russell in the passing game might beat you, but if you key on the passing game, Najee Harris can rip off a few big runs like he did today. The one thing I was surprised with, Gerry, with the New York Jets, single coverage on George Pickens a lot in this game, and they didn't go away from it. George Pickens had a big game. He had a big influence on this.
And it wasn't always with Sauce Gardner. They were single coverage a couple times when he made those catches, including the one that kind of bounced off the guy's helmet, I think, on the 37-yarder. Yeah. That surprised me. I thought they would have Sauce Gardner follow him everywhere on the field. Ray, second game in a row, the Steelers have scored 30-some points. Of course, we saw them do that at the end of last year with Mason Rudolph, but still back-to-back games with more than 31 points. And so that's testament, and that was with Justin Fields, but that's testament to what Arthur Smith's offense is starting to do now.
Yeah, if you go back to what Arthur did in Tennessee and even with Atlanta when he was the head coach there, lots of different players got involved. There were 6 pass catchers today for the Steelers who had at least one catch for double digits, so 10 yards or more. Van Jefferson caught his first touchdown pass. Darnell Washington was involved. Calvin Austin, after the early drop, had the big one down the field. So he's very good at getting everyone involved. And I think Russell Wilson's the same way, right? With Justin Fields, maybe, things were a little bit more uneven. With Russell, he's going to get everyone involved, tight ends, running backs, and receivers. It was a good game overall.
Mike Tomlin said after the game, he doesn't usually use this word. He referred to Russell Wilson's play as excellent. And, there was a lot of discussion this week. Is this the right time to go to Russell Wilson? Why now Justin Fields? They were 4-2. They were coming off a victory. We know what he does with his feet. Leads all NFL quarterbacks with 5 rushing touchdowns. And so, there was a little bit of a debate. And I'm not saying Mike Tomlin got off the hook. He probably knew what he was doing. He knew Russell Wilson would be rusty. Ray, he played 6 series in the preseason, and that was it. He hasn't played at all in the regular season. But, boy, after that slow start, he was 2 of his first 8. After that, he was 14-21 for 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. He finished with a passer rating of 109, no interceptions. That was big.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad start. The field goal drive early, he was efficient on that drive. I think 3 consecutive 3-and-outs after that. Then beyond that, it was lights out. He played really, really well. The offense kind of followed his lead, running game receiver. So, good first start for him. We'll see if he can keep it up next week against the Jets.
Yeah, and, Ray, after that third series, we hit, of course, the field goal on the opening drive, then 2 failed series. But after that third series, we heard a smattering of boos already, probably from the Justin Fields crowd that would have liked to have seen him stay with Justin Fields. But in reality, he outdueled Aaron Rodgers, who, Ray, we saw him make a lot of big plays and has been playing very well. They just gave him a new receiver, his old teammate, Devontae Adams, so he has a lot of weapons at his disposal. We saw Breece Hall make several big plays, 13-yard touchdown in that 57-yarder that set up one of their other scores. But you have to give Russell Wilson credit, knocking that rust off early and playing as well as he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And going over to the Jets, Breece Hall being their best receiver on this day, credit to Joey Porter. Credit to James Pierre, who played most of the game for Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson was injured on that Breece Hall 57-yard run. So when you look at the totality of it, I know Aaron Rodgers had close to 300 yards, but I think more than 100 went to Breece Hall. Everyone else was kind of held in check, including Devontae Adams, who had just 3 catches for 30 yards.
And, Ray, most of all, props to Beanie Bishop. 2 interceptions, both off Aaron Rodgers. He'll remember that for a long time. The pick off, the pass that bounced off Garrett Wilson's chest, he returned it 37 yards to set up that touchdown. Our old colleague Ed Bouchette had to remind us during the game that Beanie Bishop, an undrafted rookie, did this in front of another undrafted secondary guy, Donnie Shell, the Hall of Fame safety, who, when he retired, Ray, led all safeties with interceptions. And ironically, as Ed pointed out, both wore number 31. I told him to go to bed and stop sending us notes.
That little nugget from Ed might have found its way into my report card,
Ray, you'll see it in tomorrow's paper, that is for sure. I made sure to do it. But, yeah, props to Beanie Bishop. And, Dean Lowry blocked a field goal. That's how they enabled them to shut out the Jets for those last 35 and a half minutes. It was a big block by him. It's 3 games in a row now the Steelers have blocked a kick, right?
Isaiah Loudermilk had a big block against the Cowboys. Obviously, Jeremiah Moon last week. I mean, a lot of people got on Danny Smith a few years ago. Gerry, his special teams have been really good for the last years.
Yeah, not to mention that kicker, Chris Boswell. 3 more field goals. He's missed 1 all year, right? It was just the one, and it was 2.
20 for 21.
Right, he missed a 62-yarder. So, and he's money, Ray, and so 3 more field goals from him. Steelers now off until next Monday night, another primetime game, this time against the other New York team, the Giants, and then they have a bye. They win that game. They go into the bye 6-2. That guarantees them at least a tie for first place in the AFC North.
Yep. Big week. I said all along, Gerry, the Steelers get to 6-2. They're going to have a chance to make the playoffs with that tough second half schedule. Giants lost big today. They're not very good. Got to take care of business next Monday night.
Steelers with a big 37-15 victory over the New York Jets, scoring the final 31 points, the most points they've run off consecutively since 2016. It was quite an impressive performance in the second half. That's going to do it from Acrisure Stadium. For Ray Fittipaldo, I'm Gerry Dulac. You're watching Post-Gazette.com.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit Post-Gazette.com.